Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have just made you exercise some patience. Thank you very much for waiting. Today I feel a little bit more like myself because I've caught up with some sleep. And alhamdulillah, inshallah ta'ala, I will continue and hope that we can have a really, really good day, good morning this morning with some very practical aspects, inshallah, of chaplaincy that we're going to do for you. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I pray that Allah will help me and guide me, inshallah ta'ala, to be able to do that which is the best for all of us here and the best for our patients and our families and the best for everybody, inshallah. I ask you, my brothers and my sisters, to stop and think, to stop and reflect about why we are here today. Is it just for a piece of paper and a certificate? Is it because you want to gain some points of some kind or other? Or is it because your heart says you want to do something better? Is it because you want to be able to excel in the work that you do? Let us make our intentions pure and for the sake of Allah, inshallah. And I speak first and foremost about myself. So, we were talking yesterday about what? Any words? Shout, call, speak. I saw all of you yesterday when that lovely brother came, the one with it was so funny. I saw you all, and you're not as shy as I thought you were. Does everybody understand my English? Am I clear? Yeah. Now you're giving me confidence. That's really nice. I have such a soft spot in my heart for Malays because I've had the most wonderful teachers back in England who were Malaysians, and I just love you all, subhanallah. And I believe in you all, and I believe, inshallah ta'ala, that the work that you do and the things that you do beautifully. I'm here only to try and help you to understand what chaplaincy is about. Did you begin to understand it yesterday? Yeah? A little bit? A lot of it is about religious needs of the patient and families. And a lot of it is actually about other things, which is not necessarily religious, but is part of the human spirit. Okay? So today we're really focusing on spirituality and trying to understand what that might mean. Okay. So, what we're going to do is now we're going to have a little exercise where we are going to look at what we understand by spirituality. So here I've got a board, not really a board, but anyway, I've got a screen up behind me, inshallah. If I was more prepared, I'd have a nice picture for you, but I don't. But I'm holding one. Have you all heard of the word spirituality before you came here? Hands up. Okay, thank you. Hands up who didn't hear about what spirituality was. Okay. I'm going to ask you now to tell me, to tell me what you think spirituality means. All right? There is no correct answer. Oh, sorry. There is no wrong answer. And it's fine. Okay? We just want to know, I want to get to know you as well. And we do this with everybody, you know, in our exercising when we're looking at spirituality, what it means. Okay. What does it mean? One word. What one word that comes to your head?
Touching the patient's heart.
Touching the patient's heart. That's not one word, but it's a beautiful sentence. Could we have touching the patient's heart on? If we're going to have more than phrases, we're going to have to make the font a little bit smaller, I think, to be able to get all our words in, inshallah. Wonderful. Touching the patient's heart. Okay. So that's really good, brother, because you are actually looking at the work involved. And I'm talking about everybody and anybody. And right now, I'm talking about you and your spirituality. Okay? Can be the patients as well. I'm talking about the word spirituality. What's it mean to you? What do you feel? What do you think? Another one, please. Okay. Relationship with Allah. Wonderful. Relationship. Yeah. Another. Connectedness. Did I hear connectedness?
Yes.
Perfect. Yep, connectedness. Another. Religion. Another.
Way of life.
Way of life. Another. Sorry? Submission. Okay, yep. Values. Are you managing to keep up? You're doing a grand job, mashallah. Fantastic. Another. Inner strength. Wonderful. More, please. Sorry? Contemplation. Brilliant. Anything else? Soul. MashaAllah. More. Belief? Prayer? Belief. More. Morals. Okay, yep. More. Love. She was listening to the lecture yesterday. What else? Any more? Empathy? Support. Compassion. Okay, 3 more. Let's have 3 more and then we'll stop there. What else comes to your mind? What do you feel when you think of your spirituality? Empathy? Sympathy? Sympathy. 2 more. Somebody else shout it if I can't hear. Psychological needs. 1 more. Let's have 1 more. Trust. A brilliant one. Okay. Right. Let's have a look at the board. It's not a board. Okay. Touching the patient's heart, relationship with Allah, connectedness, religion, way of life, submission, values, inner strength, contemplation, the soul, faith and belief, morals, love, empathy, support, compassion, sympathy, psychological needs, and trust. Okay, in my hand here, I've got some thoughts of what spirituality is by another group of people. Okay? This comes from another hospital trust, not mine, but another one. We work very collaboratively, so we're working with different trusts all the time. So we're looking for what we call best practice. And by having and sharing these experiences, we can create best practice. So I'm going to just read you what I've got here, and you can see how close or different it is from this. So on here I've got belief. We've got that one on here? Faith. We haven't got that one on here, have we? We have. Oh, yes! Sorry. Oh, dear, I've forgotten already. Isn't that awful? Anyway. Prayer. Yep. Spirit. Close to the soul. Worship. Values. Nature. Ritual. Hope. Divinity. Culture. Religion. Holy scriptures. Sport. Music. Art. Inspiration. Aspiration. Connection. Somebody else brought that one up, didn't they? Connectedness. Poetry. Identity. Meditation, which is close to contemplation that we mentioned. Purpose. Subhanallah. That's a big one. Our purpose in life. Community. Occupation. Exploration. Life experiences. Relationships. Forgiveness. Questions. Pets. Family. Friends. So that's what I've got on my spirituality tree here. And when we do this somewhere else, we're going to get a whole load of other things as well. Because people look at different aspects of spirituality and what arises from ourselves. One of the things that has come out from all these different exercises is that this spirituality, whether you believe in a religion or you don't, it comes from the self. Whereas religion is learnt from others. And that helps us to begin to understand where the spirituality can differ from religion. Okay? So that was great in terms of exploration. And we will look at, and hopefully, turn to an understanding or a way of beginning to believe that everybody is a spiritual being. That not necessarily religious, but that faiths recognize spirituality and the need for spiritual care. I'm going to repeat that last sentence again because I think it's really important. And for those of you who are writing, you might want to write this because it gets confusing sometimes. So spirituality isn't necessarily religious, but every faith recognizes spirituality and the need for spiritual care. Okay. There are a few different quotes, and if you want to go back and you want to have a look about what spirituality might mean to different people or in different books or by different writers, you'll find a whole load of different things. People are still trying to understand it. You find the definitions of spirituality that will vary as well. Look at this one. This one's a very short one. The spiritual life is a matter of becoming who you really are. Yeah? It's about a connection within yourself and knowing who you are. Another one, perhaps more central to care, is spiritual care. So now we're going back to what you were saying earlier on, brother, when you were talking about touching the heart of the patient. This is the care. So we've all got a spirit, we all want to look at spirituality, but spiritual care is about what you do to facilitate the spirit in another. Does that make sense? It'll start to become more clear as we go on. And this one quote from one writer is, spiritual care is concerned with accompanying people on a journey. So I'm not talking about sitting in a car. It's about being with somebody in a journey. Accompanying somebody on a journey with the circumference of their lives in the center of what is really important to them. So you can see that your spirituality is going to be different from somebody else's spirituality. All right. So what I'd like you to do now is turn to somebody next to you, and I'm going to give you 2-3 minutes to share what you feel spiritually. Okay? What is spiritual about you? And the other person to stop and just listen to what they have just said. Is that all right? In fact, let's give it 1.5 minutes each. So, have you found somebody next to you that you can share with? Or behind you? You can move your space. I feel at liberty to ask you, after seeing you all having to get out of your seats yesterday. Are you ready? I am going to give you... Right. Who's got somebody to talk to? Who's not got anybody to talk to? All right. Can you move over and go to somebody to talk to? Right. Who's not got anybody to talk to? Good. You've all got somebody to talk to. Lovely. There's a threesome there. All right. Might have to do that. Right. Are you ready? When my little timer goes off, woo. When my timer goes off, when my timer goes off, you're going to stop, and then the other person is going to share, and and you will listen to them. Are you ready? Okay. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Go. Everything okay with it? Oh, is her name Azleen? She told me on the phone today that she's coming. There is the bell, the harp. Okay. So now, brothers and sisters, swap. Now you become the listener and the listener becomes the speaker. Okay? Listen to what spirituality means to that other person. Okay, I think we're done. Right. I'm going to choose a pair, and I'm going to ask you what the person who you spoke to said in one sentence. Okay? So you have to summarize, or what did it mean to you? What did you get out of hearing that person speak about their spirituality? Okay. Right. I'm going to start with the lovely ladies in blue. Okay. Right. Yeah. Tell me, what did you get out of your listening to the person you listened to? Yes, do pass that over. It'd be much, much easier, wouldn't it?
I get the power of Quran.
Okay.
Power of Quran and speak how to be more confident, be more energy, and more powerful.
Energy, that's a very good word. We didn't have that in either of these, did we? So energy has come out of that. Lovely, thank you. Jazakillahu khairan. Okay, let's move over. Lovely lady in turquoise. Yeah, next to you here. Yes. Tell us what you got. What did you hear from the person speaking about their spirituality?
Sharing my experience with my colleague in ward.
Yeah.
So how I deal with the patient.
Is this what your colleague said, or is this about you?
I said.
All right. That's wonderful. I'm asking you to tell me what you heard. Yeah? When you listened to your colleague, what did you hear from her? Can you remember what she said? Anything? One word even that resonated with you?
Support.
Support. Was there anything else as well? Is it mainly about support that she...
Hope.
And
Hopefully.
hope. Fantastic. Brilliant. Those are the core things that we need to be thinking about. Not about what did I have for breakfast today and it was really nice. You know, it's about what's in here. Yeah? Those emotions, those feelings, what spirituality means to us. That's lovely. Pass the microphone down forward. Tell us, what did you hear?
Hello, Assalamualaikum
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.
According to my seatmate, he said that spirituality to her is all about valuing the belief and faith of the quality of belief and faith of others.
Right. Wow, that's pretty profound. Because here she is talking about, your colleague is talking about herself, but she's basing her spirituality on others. That's beautiful. Beautiful, mashallah. Thank you for that. Okay. Could our roaming mic go onto the side over here now, inshallah? Brother with a stripy shirt. Yeah. Yeah, you. This is really fun for me, you know.
Hello. Assalamualaikum. Good morning.
Waalaikumsalam
It's
warahmatullahi.
actually checkered.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway.
I'm going to be 60 in a couple of weeks' time, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be anymore.
It's all right. So according to my partner here, my brother here, spirituality is something on the inside. It's difficult to define, but it's more related in our culture. From what I heard him say, it's like we base it a lot to religion and faith.
Yes.
But it's something you really cannot point to exactly.
Right.
It's just this.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. So again, here we've got somebody else speaking about religion again, and there's a real connection between his faith and his spirituality. Great. Pass it behind you. Tell us what your colleague said.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikum assalam rahmatullah.
Okay, so my colleague, she mentioned about empathy, meaning putting ourselves in someone else's shoes, understanding their problem.
So the spiritual aspect of feeling that empathy.
Yep.
Lovely. Okay, great. Let's move to this side. Oh, I'm making you work your breakfast off this morning. Actually, she could have just taken it over, couldn't she? With the other mic. Alhamdulillah. Lady in pink scarf at the end there, yeah.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
According to her, spiritual is more on blessing, goodness.
It's another new
and
word that we didn't use.
also, it mold our way of life.
Lovely, thank you. Pass it forward. Okay, across is fine. Yep, that's lovely. Pass it forward. Yeah.
Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
According to my brother
warahmatullahi
beside me.
Yeah.
So first he mentioned it's very hard to define, but according to cultural context, same as brother there, that is about the religion and faith,
Okay.
and then it's related to the connectedness about ourselves to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala.
Okay. So religion and Allah yet again in terms of the spirituality. Wonderful. Okay. Let's take it right to the back in the far corner now, please. Can you pass it as far back as you can? And yep, lovely. Take it over. tell us what you heard your colleagues say about what.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam.
wabarakatuh. My brother just said that spiritual support is really need for new hope for fighting spirit.
Yeah. So hope is coming back out there again. Yeah.
New hope.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Right, let's bring it right down, 4, 5 seats rows down, please. And we're going to hear 3 more, and then we'll move on. Okay. Yep, lady in, yeah, that's wonderful. Yes, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullah.
According to my partner, she said spiritual means hope and belief.
Yeah. This is what you heard when you were listening to her.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, okay. And then back over here. One more over here and one back in the middle. Inshallah. Anybody want to tell me? Anybody want to choose to say something about what, to tell us what their partner said? Anybody want to be able to share? Yeah, fantastic. All right. We'll take it over here. Yep.
I'd just like to share the experience and just as a reflection of what my doctor said. So she can, when we talked about spirituality, she actually said along the lines, if she was in at the end of her life, where would talk about spirituality? And she said it was the connectedness towards Allah. And it was quite interesting because she actually talked about putting herself in a patient's shoes where, at the end of their life, and where is that spirituality? And then that is how she actually got the essence of that meaning towards spirituality. And I did a bit of my own reflection, and it was quite interesting having that kind of perspective, because I'm looking at it as like when I'm living right now of spirituality, and she got the idea of spirituality in terms of how it is if it was at the end of the life, and where is my spirituality. So that was a good reflection, I think.
And I think at the end of life, probably people become more spiritual than ever, because this is really asking massive questions now about where am I going, what's going to happen. Yeah, and in fact, our religion, our faith, whatever religion it is, can be really tested at this time. Or even if we lose a loved one, it can be really, really tested. Is there anybody else that would like to be able to offer, to share what they heard? Yes, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. According to my friend, he like to serve to the patient and give a help to the patient who have a chronic diagnosis, like cancer.
Yep.
So I think it depends to the niyat of Allah.
Yeah. So it's a dependency.
Yes.
Another wonderful word. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else? Yep. Could we have the microphone over here?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
So when we're talking about this spiritual support, it more for those who are end of their life. So what they want is actually they want to go return back to God peacefully. So they are seeking for inner peace. That's why I think.
Inner peace.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other comments? Yep.
Can I share?
Of course.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
What we had discussed just now, what I think the spiritual supports is when they need something, in a holistic way, how to feel the emptiness that they feel.
Yes.
Because in that way, in the situation, they feel something like they need something like more than medical treatment, more than something like they don't know what to say, but they need.
Yes.
They need. They the spiritual. So we as the takers, we are the carers, we should know what we should give them in the way of what we call as spiritual there. This is what I think lah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thank you for that. Jazakumullahu khairan. That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. Any more comments about spirituality or what you heard or anything at all? Anybody want to comment any more? Yeah?
Sorry, I'm just like hovering over the mic now. Okay, just a quick one, because you talked about spirituality and religion. Right?
Yes.
And the things that, you know, keep on playing in my mind is, what do you think about, because there's always, I think there's that understanding of, when you talk about spiritual, it's always religion. I mean, that's like that sense. And it's quite difficult to get out of it. Yeah. And then they'll feel like, what's your opinion about people who say that I am very spiritual, and yet, you know, they don't do religious practices.
Yes,
you know, so I think, and then it goes back to that propheticizing. It's like, you know, it's like, oh, you know, you cannot be spiritual if you don't do religious practice. So
that's the point of this exercise.
Yes, exactly. So
yes.
Yeah, so you know, it's like for us to think about, you know, some people's spirituality doesn't really always relate to religion.
Yeah.
But do you think that for a person to be religious, they have to have spirituality? What's your opinion on that?
Or, as I mentioned earlier on, that there will be that religion is something which is learnt from which is external, and we learn about religion. But spirituality is actually something that comes from the inside here. So when you see a patient, I mean, is there any hospital that has 100% Muslims? There isn't, is there? No. So when you see a patient, and that patient is not a believer, they're atheist, they don't believe there's any more life after this life, do you think they have no spirit? Do you think that they don't feel spiritual? Tell me what you think. Do they feel spiritual or not? They can. Spirituality is touched in the heart. Now for us, subhanallah, what we find is that many people who are not Muslims, it's easy for us to be able to begin to understand, well, when they're looking outside of the window and they see the trees and the wind blowing at the leaves, and they see the sunshine coming through between the branches, and the light coming down onto something else, maybe a little pond of water, that reflection, that feeling, that emotion that they get from just looking at that is what we term spiritual. Yeah? Is that making sense? Is it making sense? All right, now you challenge me. Challenge me and ask me some hard questions. Tell me what doesn't make sense about what we've talked about just now, or what I'm saying to you. You all agree. Do you understand? Can you see? I mean, for me as a Muslim, I connect my spirituality with my religion directly, because we know, for those of you who are devout and practicing Muslims, and I'm not going to make an assumption that everybody here is, but for those of you who are very, very strong practicing Muslims, definitely you will be thinking and connecting your spirituality to Al-Islam. Not just to your salah, but to your fellow man. Not just to your neighbor, but to anybody you meet. Not just to the human species, but to the animals on the road. For you, your connection, your reality, your life, when it's connected with Al-Islam, and you have submitted yourself to Allah, you will not miss out any of these things, because it is the hukum of Allah that we have to take all of this into consideration. And so our spirituality is very much embedded in all of that. For me as a Muslim, I know that I feel spiritual about everything and anything because actually I see Allah, or I think of Allah, or I feel Allah in all the things that I do. So I look at a beautiful flower and I think, Subhanallah. I see something not nice and I think, Ya Allah, help them. I see an atrocity like in New Zealand that we've just been having, and we're still trying to do things about that even now so that we can have justice in the world. I see that, and my prayers not only go out to the shuhada and their families, but it actually goes out also for guidance for those who do wrong. So, because our deen is like that, sometimes, my brothers and sisters, we forget what spirituality might mean to somebody else who's not a Muslim, or somebody who's actually not too bothered about practicing their faith. He's a Muslim, but not too bothered about practicing faith? No. For me as a Muslim, I know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created me, my body, my aql, my mind, the ruh, my soul, my spirit. I know that He created it all. And through this, I know that He created the fitrah, the innate nature within us. Now, as Muslims, we believe this has a connection with Allah. And there are other people who are not Muslims that will be looking for how Allah is. They haven't found Him yet necessarily, but often they will look out and they will feel spiritual. That spirituality is to do with everybody and anything. That spirituality is to do with what we feel, which we can't often, as somebody said, can't really put our fingers on it. But it's something more than just simply emotions. It's more than our physical being, and it's certainly more than doing your prayers and everything else. Now, it's important to say this because the rest of the morning we are going to be looking at the care we give. And are we really looking at spiritual care? And alhamdulillah, mashallah, this morning we have a patient that has come from the hospital here, and so we won't keep her waiting anymore. Allah bless her for giving her time and coming out to us for you to be able to, and myself, to be able to learn about things that inshallah ta'ala will help us to become better practitioners in terms of our spiritual, pastoral and religious care. Okay. Yesterday you looked mainly at chaplaincy. Chaplaincy includes all of that. But today we're really going to focus a lot more on you as practitioners within your role giving spiritual care. And you can't do that without doing this exercise first so that you can differentiate that spirituality does not necessarily mean religion. Yeah? Okay. So, alhamdulillah, mashallah, we need to get up a couple of chairs here. Is that all right? Could we have a couple of chairs on the stage, please? Transparency. I like to be honest. I like transparency. And I've just been told that the patient doesn't speak English, or there needs a translator. So this is my challenge now. But actually, shall I tell you, my brothers and sisters, it's not completely new to me. Because in hospital, especially in Britain, we have so many nationalities. And we have so many religions, and we have so many different kind of cultures. So there have been occasions when I've had to see a patient and where I've had to have a translator as well. Okay, so I have been asked, this was not prepared, I have been asked. Okay. Right, okay. All right. All right, we'll try it. So we're going to use the device. I hope it's got good batteries, brother. Sorry? Yes, Bismillah. Bismillah, yes. I'm ready when you're ready. You just get the devices out and whatnot. I'm ready to start. Oh, Allah bless her. Right, let's put her in the center here. Bless her dear heart. Assalamu alaikum. If she can sit on this chair over here and be very comfortable. Before we start, and before you see me being a chaplain to this patient, okay, I just want to express to you all, and I hope that my hosts will also explain to our patient how grateful we are that she has come out today. Anybody got a mic? We can, instead of waiting, yeah. Can we, is it, no, could somebody tell her, please, what I've just said? Yes. You can do it. Shima? Shima, you can just say it. You can tell her that we are so grateful that she has come out to do this for us today.
Okay, hari ini kami rasa sungguh bertuah kerana Puan dapat bersama dengan kami dalam dewan yang sebindah ni, insyaAllah.
Thank you. So she knows now, does she? You know I didn't understand a word, don't you? Yeah.
She can understand, but I cannot speak very well.
Oh, this is going to be a real challenge. But anyway, what I'm going to try and do is, and I need you to tell her in a moment as well, please, what I'm going to try and do to you, because this has been requested from me, and I've never done this with a live patient in this way before. Oh, by the way, I've got my 3 volunteers to do some role play. So alhamdulillah, that's sorted anyway. But this I wasn't quite expecting, but I'm excited about doing it because it's a new experience for me. I am going to pretend that this patient is in my hospital, all right? And I'm going to pretend that I have been asked to come and see this patient, all right? And I'd like you to watch very, very carefully about what happens. If she could speak English, it would make a massive difference to us because I would be able to respond spontaneously. Sorry? Yeah. But because she's going to be speaking in Malay to me, then I'm going to have that I'm going to have to try to understand that and then respond to her. Is the device ready now? Okay, it's not ready yet, is it? Okay, well, why don't we do it? Because sometimes when we have this occasion, he's here. Can you make sure that our patient understands what's happening, please? And how I am going to pretend to be the person in my hospital and how I would come to see a patient.
So I have to explain to her. Okay, Puan, sekarang ni situasi di dalam ward, hospital. So, Puan Rahena, dia akan datang melawat Puan. Boleh? Okay?
Macam kena berlakon
Kita
What did she say, Adlina?
Okay. But in the real, yang betul-betul punya. Okay, she's ready.
Okay, she's ready. All right. So I need you off the stage now, Shima, because we're going to try and make it as real as possible, unless you're going to be a nurse. but we need you away, all right, inshallah. And the focus is going to be right on here. She's got her mic, all right? Okay, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
So I don't need to stand here?
No, you don't have to stand here now. We've got all the technical things we need. I might ask you for a cup of tea in a bit. One of the things that I make sure I do, one of the things that I make sure I do when I have to go and see a patient is that I make a dua from my heart first. I have been working in chaplaincy. This is my 19th year now. And still, I don't know what to expect when I go to see anybody new. So I make a dua in my heart, even if it's just while I'm dashing and walking quickly to the ward. But I make a dua and I ask Allah, oh Allah, help me in this task. Ya Allah, help me to say the right words. For Allah, I do not know what the right words are. Oh Allah, let me be with this patient and let me do the best for this patient. Be with me, Allah, and guide me. I make that dua before I go. I make that dua while I pretend it all to you. It's half real because actually she's a real patient and I am going to try and do whatever I would do, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rehana, and I work in the hospital. I'm a hospital chaplain. A chaplain is a person who comes to visit you. We work in a religious department, but we're there for everybody. And I've just come round to give you a smile and ask you how you are. Is it okay if I sit down? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So my name is Rehana. What's your name?
Nama saya Siti Syara.
Oh,
Muhammad Ali.
okay. So what would I call you?
Syara.
Shara. Oh, that's easy for me. Thank you. Shara. Shara. I hope it's okay for me to be here with you today and to see you. Yeah? Yeah. And I know it's not very easy being in hospital. Yeah. How long have you had to be in hospital for?
Berapa lama?
6 hari.
Adelina, tell me what she's saying. Adelina can't hear her.
Puan kena cakap kuat sikit. 6 hari.
6 hari. 6 days.
6 days. Are you managing all right in the hospital? Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Sometimes it's not very easy being in hospital, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can be hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes we miss our home.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. Yeah. I pray, inshallah, Allah makes it easy for you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're looking forward to going home? Have they mentioned whether you're going to go home soon or not?
Ada tak doktor bagi tahu boleh balik?
Bila boleh balik? First, bila? Satu bulan 4, first April.
Okay.
InsyaAllah.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Yeah. I feel very happy to be with you.
Thank you. I'm so.
Thank you. I know that when we meet new people, sometimes we put on a very brave face, but it's not always easy.
Betul?
It's not easy.
Yeah. So difficult.
Yeah. Allah bless you, my sister. Allah bless you. Yeah. I pray that Allah will give you complete shifa.
Thank you. Allah.
There is a beautiful little dua that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to say when he visited the patient. And with your permission, I would like to be able to say that prayer for you as well. Yeah, and then I will translate it. Yeah. He, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, often he would put his hand on the patient and he would say this, and this is my prayer for you, Shara, okay? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. اللهم أذهب البأس رب الناس اشفي وأنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاؤك شفاء لا يغادر سقما. And this shara means, oh Allah, remove this difficulty. You are the Lord of mankind. Give healing, for you are the healer. There is no cure except in your cure. So give healing which leaves no illness behind. Ameen.
Ameen. Thank you.
I really, really pray for you, Shara. I really pray that Allah will make everything well for you. I pray that everything will be good, inshallah. That Allah will give you the strength that you need. That Allah will only give you goodness from this difficulty. May Allah reward you for everything that you go through. May Allah wash away every little sin of yours and purify you. May Allah give you the strength and the hope to do the things that you want to be able to do. You're welcome. And I speak from my heart, Shara. I speak from my heart. You are my sister and a beloved of Allah. Do you know what, Shara? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us in a hadith Qudsi, he said that Allah will say to man, why did you not visit me when I was sick? You cry all you need to cry, Shara. Cry all you need to cry. Our prayers are with you, Shara. We are with you. And most of all, Shara, Allah is with you. Allah is with you, my dear. Allah is with you. He takes care of everybody and He does the best. We don't know why He does what He does, but He does the best for us. I wonder if a nurse could bring over some tissues for us, please. That would be very good. All right. You okay, my dear?
Thank you.
I'm going to keep you in my special prayers. That Allah will make you well. That He'll give you the very, very best. Do you know what, Shara? As Muslims, we know that Allah will grant us the very best. That He will not burden us with something which we can't bear. We know that. It's a test. And you know what? You are doing marvelously. In front of me, I see a woman who is strong. In front of me, I see a woman who has iman, who believes in Allah, who is being tested. But alhamdulillah, you will come out the best, inshallah. I think, brothers and sisters, we've done enough for Sharan. Sharan's gone through a lot already in just a short space of time.
Sorry.
Sorry? You saying sorry to me? You have nothing to be sorry about. You have nothing to be sorry about. This has been so good, not just for everybody here, but for them to also understand other patients in a better and a more deeper way, to understand what their spiritual needs might be. All right. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah be with you. Okay. Can I ask everybody, please, to make a dua for Shara? Okay? I will say a short dua and then I'll ask you to say Ameen for her. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I'll begin with Fatiha. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Amen. Oh Allah, we ask you as you hear us. We ask you, my Lord, for healing and for betterment. Oh Allah, we ask for our sister here, Shara, for her healing, for her and for all the patients here in this hospital, and for all the patients everywhere in the world. Oh Allah, we pray for all the staff who take care of the patients. Oh Allah, be with Shara. Hear her du'as, oh Allah, and grant her the very, very best. Oh Lord, we know that you burden not anyone with something that they cannot bear. So make it easy for Shara. And as you have promised, oh Allah, in the Quran, إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا, then please, Lord, relieve her after her difficulty too. وَالصَّلَاةُ وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَى سَيِّدِ الْمُرْسَلِينَ مُحَمَّدٍ صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Amen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me take you back. I think she deserves a massive applaud.
Thank you.
Shara, is there anything you want to tell all these people who want to learn about patients? Anything that comes to your heart? Anything you want to share with them? They all work in the hospital and they all look after patients.
Sekarang? No.
Yes, yes.
Assalamualaikum. Saya Puan Siti Sarah. Maaf saya cakap bahasa Malaysia. Nak terima keadaan kanser ni memang berat lah kan. Kita nak mental yang kuat, support yang kuat, fizikal, segala-galanya lah nak kuat. Fikiran kita nak positif, tak boleh nak macam negatif, kita nak down. Lagi kita susah kan. Lepas tu bila kita dah terima benda keadaan ni, kita redha lah. Terpaksa redha. Nak buat macam mana kan? Tuhan dah bagi kita satu keajaiban untuk satu kehidupan. Then saya pun macam tak percayalah kanser ni sebab keluarga pun tak ada kanser kan. Lepas tu saya buat hiking, saya happy-happy, kawan cakap jangan jadi murung apa semua saya buat. Tapi pada sampai masa terpaksa operation, buang. Bila dah buang kita punya ni down sangat, memang jatuh. Kita fikir orang sekeliling ajuk kita. Orang sekeliling akan pulaukan kita. Tapi alhamdulillah kawan-kawan, keluarga bagi support. InsyaAllah alhamdulillah sekarang ni keadaan makin pulih dan saya boleh terimalah keadaan ni. Lepas tu satu kemungkinan yang akan berlaku, mungkin mungkin saya akan jadi yang terbaik di sisi Allah dan boleh terima keadaan dan melalui support keluarga dan kawan-kawan serta saudara-saudara mungkin membaik pulihkan kesihatan saya. Amin.
What? Oh, okay. I wanted to make sure she wasn't here now for this next bit. I want you to tell me, I want you to share with me what you got out of that, or what you think, or what comes to your head. How did this feel for you? This is chaplaincy, right? That was chaplaincy. This is what we do. Comments, please. Anybody? Shout out. What did you feel? What do you think? Anything. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a talk. And then let's have some questions. A few comments of how you feel. And then I'd love you to ask questions. Oh, let's use a mic, shall we, please? Then you won't have to strain your voice.
I noticed, you were very close and you used a lot of body.
Is it a question or is it a...
It's a question.
It's a question.
It's a question.
Can we just do first, I want you to hold that. Don't lose it.
Okay.
I just want to hear and feel what everybody's thinking and feeling right now
okay.
first. All right? And then I'd like us to be able to ask the questions. So if you've got something else as well, we can come back to your question. But otherwise, you want to be able to, yeah? All right, let's taking stock of what's just happened, of what you just saw, what do you feel, what do you think?
Okay, at the very beginning, you can see that, where at the first thing she said, do I have to act on this? So you can see that there was not, I didn't think that there was going to be any emotional connectedness because of how it was going to be like.
Because it's not real.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you can see this patient, she was just waiting for that connectedness. She was just waiting someone to just spend even a few minutes just to talk to her. You could just you started off with just like simple things, and then you can just see the gushing of emotion that came out. And I think I was emotional as well. But you can see the need for it.
Yeah. Lovely, thank you. Some more comments, please. What did you feel? It can be the same thing, it's fine. I just want to know how you felt, what you thought. Now I want you to share that with everybody here.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Thank you very much for your the practical sides. So actually, what I'm focused on the moments you meet with these patients, Miss Puan Sarah. So the first thing, you make dua,
Right.
but
So keep your question for now, brother.
No, not question.
Oh, it's not question.
Not question, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
When you make dua, and then
Yes.
the way you recite the dua, you not just come out with the dua, but you like make her imagine that this is the way prophets. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he meet patients, and then the way you touch her. So this is the kinds of feeling, reflections that this is how our prophets, and reflection to her.
Yes.
When it comes to the patient's feeling, yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
At first, we can see that she can accept her condition, but she's having that disease. But when she has to really be admitted and the operation done, she was really down. And at that time, I think she really need all the support, not just from her families, but also like people like you, the chaplains. that is very helpful to her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. I think we're all learning a lot here. Yeah, and your comments are very, very valid. Some more? Can we have a few more comments before we move to questions? How did you feel? No more? All right? Okay, fine. Let's move on to the questions then. Sister at the front here, Gwen. So we're just going to finish with this before break now, okay? So we're just going to have our questions and our dialogue before break.
I just want to ask, how do you feel about if it is a member of the opposite sex? You know,
Yeah.
because maybe I guess you know, as females,
closer.
as female women touching male patient, how do you feel about that?
Oh my gosh, I've got so many examples to share, so many stories to share. So, when it's a male, I wouldn't, in fact. I would avoid any kind of touching. Even when it's a female, I still try to assess the situation. And I look at body language. Did you notice how she gave her hand to me first? So that was a clear indication that she's okay with touch. And because she was okay with touch, I knew that it was okay to be able to do that. But I won't automatically touch a patient, even if she's my gender, in case she's not comfortable with that. If it's a male, I will be much more, alert and aware not to touch. But let me tell you, brothers and sisters, I remember once a patient, he had been in the, he'd had a heart attack. I think he'd had CPR, I can't remember now what had happened, I can't remember the occasion, but his son was frantically looking for help. And then he remembered, they've got a multi-faith chaplaincy department here. I could get they must have a Muslim chaplain. So he came quickly, knocked on the door. They can't just make a phone call or whatever, but he was just frantic. His father had been taken to have an X-ray at the time, and he just thought he's going to come out. So I need to find somebody. He found me. He took me over to where his dad was, and they'd just finished with him. He was lying down. He was alert, but the shock was bad. He was glad and happy that he was alive, but he didn't think he was going to live. And the son, the frantic son, he said, Dad, I've brought the chaplain. She's a Muslim chaplain. I brought the chaplain to come and see you. And I went over, and calmness went over, pleasantness, even though, I'm not smiling and happy, but calmness and pleasantness went over to him, and was about to just start introducing myself by saying that I'm his son had just said who I was, but just to sort of let him know I'm here for you and to give him hope. When I got there, first thing he did was get hold of my hand. And he got hold of my hand, so I'm here by the bed, and he's lying down, and he took hold of my hand immediately. I have to think about compassion. Remember yesterday I mentioned about the ill? This is somebody who's sick. It's not a normal situation. He is sick. He took hold of my hand. Now, I'm not accustomed to touching men who are not mahram to me. And I thought, okay, Allah knows. I will slip my hand out nice and quietly while I'm talking. And I'll concentrate on speaking about things so that he's not thinking about me slipping my hand away. Do you know what? He held my hand so tight. And he held it, and mashallah, he was a sick man, but he had a good grip. And I realized this is his need. And I didn't let go. And I did try pulling away. But what I did do was give him the words of comfort that I needed to give. That red light's on. Does that mean I've got to stop right now? It does, doesn't it? Does it? Ah. Well, at least I got to. I answered one question. Would you like to continue this when we come back after break? Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let's go and get a cup of tea and then come back, and we'll take the next question from our brother, from whoever it was. I can't remember. Or from yourselves. Jazakumullah khair.
Just an announcement for those who like to give comment or ask question in Bahasa Malaysia, please come forward. Okay, we're allowed to do so, please, because our translator will be here. We can translate for you after the session, okay? So, or during the session, I'm sorry. So, without further ado, I would like to call Ms. Rehana to the stage for the role play. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have to say, that last experience and doing what we did earlier on with a patient and actually making everything real was incredible for me. I found it incredible. Which leads me to say that I had three wonderful offers from yourselves to be doing role play with me. And so, mashallah, thank you so much for offering, but it seems like we might not need you. But inshallah, if that's okay, I mean, it would have been different. What I'd got planned for you was different. And I was going to let you choose the scenarios, and we were going to play those scenarios out and have a discussion after each scenario. But there probably isn't going to be time. I still was intending to do it, but I've just been informed that inshallah we've got another couple of patients. And one of them, put me right please, my organisers, is actually somebody who's not Muslim, is that right? Which is fantastic, amazing, because then you'll see me in action when I'm with my non-Muslim patients as well. That'll be brilliant. And I think you work wonders, mashallah, to create something like this. Fantastic. Wait till I go back home and tell everybody about this. Amazing. Fantastic. Okay, so before the break, we left off talking about what you felt from the last experience, right? And then we just moved on to questions, and we only had one question given to us, and that was about what if it's a male patient? And I, as a woman, how would I deal with that then when it comes to the touching? So we looked at that as well. I would like every single person here to feel completely comfortable and confident about being able to ask whatever you want to ask. All right? Is that okay? Because I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. And I need you to be fine with it as well. All right? I wouldn't be offended. I need you to ask me what you need to ask. We can never, ever learn or move forward unless we are able to be open with one another, unless we are able to talk with one another. We're never going to be able to better ourselves unless we can talk to one another. Is that clear? Big, loud yes. Cool. So, going back to the questions now, because I've got a few things that I want to definitely say. Can I ask the organisers what time the patient is going to be coming in, please, so I know what time? Oh, bless. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Well, we won't keep our patient waiting then, right? We're going to have to do everything together at the end. We were going to continue, but we won't because we don't want to keep our patient waiting. Oh, thank you very much for coming along. My name's Rihanna. Okay, sweetheart. Thank you. Right, I'm going to ask you to sit down. Is that all right? Is that all right? Lovely. So I'm a chaplain, and you speak English beautifully, which is... No, it's lovely, it's lovely. Right, 1 second. I would like you to be somewhere here. There we go. You sit in that seat, and you pretend you're in the ward. Okay? So you're sitting in the ward, and what is really important for me to make sure that you understand is that these people all work in the hospital. I work in England, in the UK, and I'm a chaplain. And a chaplain is somebody who comes from the religious department, but actually we're not just there about religion. We are if people want to talk about religion, but we're there just to try to meet your needs, you as a person, okay? So you don't have to think about all that, you don't have to remember all this, except I want you to know that I'm going to come on here to the stage and I'm going to pretend that you're my patient in England, all right? Or that I'm working here. And I'm just going to come and I'm going to do what I normally do, and you've just got to be yourself. Is that okay? Okay. So I will introduce myself all over again in just a minute. Okay, inshallah. Right. Do you want to speak Malay? Oh, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Can you rig me up again, please? So this one, I need one ear for that one. My friend Azleen is going to see me getting dressed for my work now. Right, that goes. I can hear you beautifully. Sometimes I don't always hear you very well, Adlina, so it would be good to make sure that you're always nice and loud when you speak to me. All right? And sometimes other people are speaking or whatever, and I don't always hear. Okay, I'll put that behind. Oh, are you? Right, cool. Fantastic. That's great. They all know I'm talking to Adlina, don't you? They all know. Oh, dear. Right, let's just turn that off then. Pause it. Wonderful. Oh, dear, this is not quite right. There. No, can't stand them. You've been doing fantastic. That's lovely. Now I'm going to come in here and you're going to talk to me now, not them. Okay. All right. I'm going to ignore them. They're just going to watch because they're going to see what work I do in the hospital with patients. Okay. Tell me how to say your name again.
Pushpawati.
Oh, that's long. Pushpawati. 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 Is there a shortened version? No? That's how everybody calls you
Pushpa.
Pushpa. Can I say Pushpa? Is that all right? Okay, I'll say Pushpa. Right, Pushpa, you turn this way, sweetheart. That's lovely. I'm going to pretend that this is the ward and you're in your room, okay? I'm going to come through there and I'm going to meet you for the first time. Okay, inshallah. But just be yourself, all right? So here I am again. And just to recap again, everybody, it doesn't matter who I'm going to see on the ward, but I will make that same dua again. And I will ask Allah to guide me, to help me. So in this case, I know I'm going to see somebody who's not from the same religion as me, but she nevertheless is just as important to me. And that I, before Allah, have a duty to her as well. Okay? So here I am now, and I make my dua, and asking Allah, oh Allah, guide me, let the right words come from my lips, let my conduct, my attitude be the best one, and be with me, for I know not what is best. So guide me, Lord. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Hello. Hello. My name is Rehanna, and I work in the hospital. And I've come to see you today. I work in a department called the chaplaincy department. Yeah, it's where the priest works. It's where we have chaplains. Chaplains are people who are religious people. So we have Hindu chaplain, we have Sikh chaplain, we have Jewish, Christian, Muslim chaplains. We're religious people, but our work is to come and just be with you. It doesn't have to be about religion. It's just about meeting you. It's about giving you a smile. And it's about sitting with you. Can I sit down? Is that all right for me to come and sit down? Oh. I've told you my name, Rehanna, but what's your name? Pushpawati. That's beautiful. Does it mean anything? No, you don't know the meaning of it? No. It sounds very beautiful. Sounds lovely. Yeah, Pushpawati. Have you been in hospital for a long time, Pushpawati?
15 days.
Oh, that's quite a long time.
No long time. 15 days, then 10 days.
Yeah. Can everybody hear? Yeah. Just got to make it a bit closer to your mouth, okay? Sorry, not 15 days. More than 15 days. Oh, bless you. Ah. That's hard, isn't it?
Today, then 10 days.
Okay.
Can be 5 days.
Right.
26 last.
Oh, I see. You're a very brave lady. Very brave lady.
Yes.
I see lots of patients, and everybody is different, but we often find that patients, they know they're in a good place, but they want to be home. They don't want to be at a hospital. Sometimes they get worried. Sometimes they're lonely. Sometimes they want to talk to somebody, but they don't know who to talk to. And actually, you know, Pushpawati, for us as chaplains, we're here to be able to sit with you, and anything you want to share or anything you talk about, we make sure it's confidential, that nobody else knows about it. Sometimes it's really hard for patients even to speak to their loved ones because they're undergoing some difficulty and pain, and they don't want to make their family feel that pain. But we're here to be able to listen to you. We are here to give you a listening ear and to comfort you, and for you to be able to know that it doesn't matter what you share with us, it's safe. Yeah. Of course, if it was something which was to do with life and death, or something which was harmful to you or to others, then we do have to share that. But otherwise, just speaking and sharing about your feelings and things like that, that's what we're here for.
Sharing friends.
Sharing
Friends.
Friends, absolutely.
I operation the hospital.
Yeah.
Sharing friends. What the cancer, breast cancer, what happened. See,
oh.
Tell me, okay.
Yeah.
I friends always Malay.
Okay.
Okay, sharing I. Chemo yang
chemotherapy.
Chemotherapy is very bad.
Oh, can make you feel quite sick, can't it?
Effect all body. Don't eat.
Yes, you don't feel like eating. Yeah.
I see. I want that. I see. Because I go to hospital, take medicine. Chemotherapy 6 cycle.
Okay.
Okay, 3 cycles. So okay.
Right.
4, 5, 6. Never. Very.
The only thing I can say, I'm not a medic, but the only thing that I can say is that the doctors, nurses, consultants and everybody, they try to do the best that they can for you. Everything that they know about. Okay. Do you want to speak in Malay and then they will translate for me? You speak to me in Malay. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I can say to you that the staff who are looking after you, they'll be doing everything they can They'll be doing everything to make things right. They understand medicine. And sometimes, Pushpawati, sometimes we have to go through the difficulties that medicine gives us before we get the better results. We hope that. We pray that that will be the case. And I will keep you in my prayers, Pushpa. I'll keep you in my prayers. Because we can't do anything except pray for you and think about you and hope for the best for you.
Okay, saya faham. Saya pun macam tu je, perasaan saya macam breast kita satu dah tak ada, macam rasa macam kehilangan satu. Macam nak hidup pun tak nak hidup macam tu. Tapi kita nak semangat. Semangat. Lepas kemo tu saya semangat. Mula-mula saya ingat nak mati. Lepas tu saya semangat lagi. Boleh cover kita punya tu lawan. Lepas tu makanan pun tak larat nak makan. Jalan pun macam tak boleh jalan. Baring saja. Lepas tu I pergi hospital lagi. Pergi hospital, ambil medicine. Lepas tu dah habis kemo. Baru saya habis kemo yang last tu 6 cycle tu. Baru dah 2 bulan baru saya boleh makan. Apa yang kita makan, saya makan. Tapi mula-mula kawan-kawan semua kata, yang ini tak boleh makan, yang tu tak boleh makan, semua bisa, macam-macam. Tapi saya pun kontrol makan. Lepas tu kan kita kan tak boleh makan. Saya minum susu, air pun tak boleh minum. Tak larat nak minum.
Oh
tengok
no,
air pun.
Not even water.
No.
No, not even water. You find that so
milk,
hard?
Only milk.
Yeah.
And Nestum.
Yeah.
Macam tu saya ambil susu dengan Nestum saja. Kalau nak pergi minum air pun macam minum tu manis. Tak boleh minum. Sebab saya ni kan first time saya operation, saya tak pernah operation macam ni. Sebab family saya pun tak ada breast cancer. Saya yang pertama kali yang ni tiba-tiba saya kena. Tiba-tiba saya kena, masa tu saya kerja. Masa tu yang kena. Nasib saya pergi tengok, saya pergi check, baru kita tahu breast cancer. Habis lepas operation semua dah okey, dah 1.5 bulan dah okey dah operation dah okey semua. Sebab biasa saya bawa motor sebab saya tak boleh duduk rumah. Saya dah lepas operation dah 1.5 bulan saya bawa motor. Sebab saya seorang je cover family sebab saya single mother.
You do a motorcycle, you ride a motorcycle.
Motorcycle. I am single mother.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. How old's your child?
6.
Oh, boy, girl?
3 girl, 3 boy.
Oh, you've got 6 children.
Yeah.
You look too young. Wow. So who's looking after them now then? Who's looking after the children now?
Children.
Who's looking after your...
Yes.
Yeah. Is it your mother or somebody looking after them now? Yeah.
26, 25,
Oh.
24, 23.
I don't believe it.
18, 19.
You look 18, 19 yourself. Wow.
18 can marriage.
Oh, right. That's amazing. You look beautiful. You look so amazing. And you know, you're a sick person as well. Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
Grandmother kan?
No.
My grandmother.
No.
1.
Really?
Ada cucu.
Amazing!
Terima kasih.
That's fantastic. Oh. I can only pray for you. I'm going to have to go soon because I've got some other patients to go and visit as well. But I want you to know Pushpa. Pushpa. Pushpa is short, isn't it?
Short.
Yeah, Pushpa. So I want you to know Pushpa. Adelina, will you stop saying Pushpawati? I'm going to call her Pushpa. All right.
Don't mati Pushpa short lah.
Yeah. Every time I say Pushpa to her, she says it's Pushpawati.
Glamour name kan?
Sorry?
Glamour name.
Oh, really? Beautiful. For lemon. Okay.
UMA Uma.
So anyway, I'm going to have to go in a little bit, but I just want you to know that it's been so lovely to be by your side.
Yes.
I think you are an amazing woman. I can't believe that you are as, you're a grandmother. That's incredible. That, you've got so much strength in you. I have so much hope for you. As you know, I'm probably a different religion from you, and if you want, we can also. I could ask the Hindu priest to come over and do some prayers with you if that would make you feel better. It's entirely up to you. Would you like me to do that and ask him to come over and do some prayers? But otherwise, we're here just to be here for you as a human to another human. As one person who cares for another person, as one person who loves another person and wishes for the best for you. And I will go away and I will pray to God to ask him to make you well and to give you the very, very best. So forgive me, I'm going to have to go. But I just want to say thank you so much for letting me be with you and to sit by with you. And thank you for sharing what you shared with me. That's not easy to share, but I want to say thank you to you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me know when she's gone. Is she gone? Is she out the way? Lovely. Okay. Well, Adelina can come back. Oh no, before we do that, when you've got another patient, do you want me to see this other patient now? Or, right, after how long? Well, I would like 20 minutes. They're not waiting out there, are they? Sorry? Yeah, thank you. So I can take this off, can't I? Okay. Now, we didn't actually quite finish from the last patient. So I'm kind of like wondering how to do this because it's really good to have a discussion and to talk about what you've seen and what you've felt and the questions you have after each scenario. Are you able to take your mind back to the first patient? Yeah? A bit louder? You're fine about that. Can we do that then, please? Can we go back to that? Because there are different things to look at in terms of spiritual and religious care. All right. So let's go back. We just had one question about the last case. Anybody else got any questions about that one?
So in the first patient, she said something about feeling rida. Do you know what I mean?
She said
rida. I don't know.
Rida, pleasure.
No, rida. Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Is it the same word? Like So she used the word that she just want to accept it. So she just like rida because I have this, and usually when you have some kind of illness and this is like I just have to accept it, but there's a lot of anger and a lot of emotions behind it as well. To reach to that level of acceptance, you have to go through that whole emotions before you are able to say yes, I accept this. And I see a lot of patients do that as well. It's like
Can we all concentrate on what the sister's saying?
how are you handling, you know, what you're going through right now? And they would usually say, I just have to accept this. My question is, what's your take on that?
All right. So I didn't get that in that scenario. Maybe the translation or whatever, because it was all being translated or missed out. So I didn't know that she'd said that. Otherwise, I would have actually dealt with that. But my take on it would be very much dependent on how she looked to me, what she was saying, how it felt to me as well. So was she at the time, was she saying, I want to accept it, but I can't accept it? Is that what she was saying?
It was more on, I've got this illness.
I've got this illness.
And I have to, I just have to accept it. I have to redor. That
Right.
this is just, you know, this is...
Right. So if she said that to me, and I obviously missed it, but if she says that to me, then I would look at her empathically with an understanding that I think that is so good. Because she's doing it already. She wants to do it. She's trying to do it. So me looking at her in a way, or using words even if I need to, like, oh, my head nodding, or saying, oh, may Allah help you do that. I do hope it's easy for you. But each time it's about encouragement. Each time it's about saying something good to the patient. Each time it's about making them feel good about themselves, even though it's a difficult situation. Yeah? Did you see much of that when I was with the first patient? Each time it was all about them feeling empowered. Yeah? Can't think of anything else that I would have said about that, because I am not going to go into dialogue with her about it. Everything that we do in chaplaincy is really very much patient-led. It's not about me going in and telling her what she needs and what she should do. It's about, what does she need? What might I suggest that could help her? And then I will suggest that. But there's another thing. There's the other thing about giving space. Space for them to be able to say what they want to be able to say. And that's why listening skills are essential to professionals, and especially in chaplaincy. With the second case, there was a lot of listening to do. Okay, anything else that anybody wants to ask about that first scenario? It's a bit hard now we've had the break in between and then we've had the second scenario. We've taken your mind back. Remember? Yep, lovely. Somebody's got a question over there. So while we're waiting for the mic to get over there, that was a patient who was very brave, and she was talking quite nicely and speaking about her faith, her iman, and then finally broke down in tears.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I just want to ask Ms. Rahana, how you control your emotional when you deal with the patient. Like this first patient, she shows the sad story, and if I deal with that patient, I will cry. So
you'll cry.
Yes. We don't want to show the sympathy, but the empathy. So how you deal, how you control your emotional when you deal with the patient.
Everybody hear that? Yeah. You know what? This is one of the reasons why I have to make my dua. This is one of the reasons why I have to do that dua before I go and see that patient. Because for me, and I can't talk about every other chaplain, I'm talking about me as a Muslim here, but I'm sure the others are very similar as well. It's about putting your tawakkul in Allah and your trust in Allah that He's going to help you get through that. But I will say something. You put me down in front of a movie at night and somebody's leaving her child and I will weep buckets. And I'll cry and I cry and I won't control my emotions. Why? Because actually I'm just behind a TV and I'm in my privacy of my own room. Oh, well, actually, the family are there and they watch mum cry and cry and cry. But, you know, I'm very emotional and I feel that. But when I have a role to play, I'm not talking about role play, when I have a role to play, my job, and I'm with that patient, I know that patient isn't going to get anything out of my visit if I can't control myself. And it's not about trying to control myself, actually. There is a strength that comes from Allah. Because I've got a job to do, I've got a role to play, so there's a strength that comes from Allah that He will help me to cope with that situation. There have been times when my tears have rolled down my face, and I call those spiritual tears, empathic tears. And it's allowing that patient to know that I really, really feel for them. And you know, I let those tears roll, but they are controlled. I don't lose myself in it. I'm there to be able to help her or him, to be able to get through whatever they're going through, so I can't fall. So subhanAllah, with the help of Allah, it happens. The more and more you do practice it, the easier it gets. And then the other thing is this. You walk away, you go back, you reflect, you pray, you think about what happened, and you find a beautiful and wonderful fulfillment in your heart because you've just been able to help somebody in a spiritual way. And that is so very, very important. And the knowledge that actually I've done something additional, I've done something extra that has helped that person gives you that feeling of fulfillment. So mashallah, when you start feeling that, then when you see the next person and the next person, that's great. And then just one more thing, just to add, my first year was my hardest. And I used to come home, and because of confidentiality, I couldn't go home and I couldn't say, oh, do you know what happened today? I have to tell you this, I have to share this with you. I couldn't do that. I had to keep it inside. So sometimes I'd be there washing the dishes, whatever, and I'm thinking, oh, has that baby survived in the neonatal unit? Oh, I wonder if that patient is still alive, he's on the life support machine. And, oh, I wonder about that little girl, whether she's still okay. And actually, it does come home. It did come home, and it was hard. For me, one of the things I do when I have a hard case, these were not hard cases. If I told you about my hard cases, you'd need another conference. But I will go home and I will be thinking about this. And my family get to know, Mum's had a hard day. My husband will say to me, ooh, there's something on your mind. Is it the hospital? Alhamdulillah. And I just say yes, and that's that. When I said to this lovely lady just now about, do I have your permission to share your picture? It's because of confidentiality and data protection, etc. Without the permission, you wouldn't be allowed to do anything like that. So we always have to make sure that we are true to that. Any other questions? Let's have a discussion. I want you to even ask me the hard things. And about the role play, the first one, did you expect that she would break down? You weren't expecting that, were you? Right. Can you remember the beginning of the intervention? When I sat at the beginning, can you remember? It was all just, can't remember, what did I say? Something like, it's hard being in hospital. Yeah? Is that religious? Not really, is it? Is it spiritual? Yeah. Because it's touching on her emotions and her feelings. It's touching on something which is deep inside her. It's about the self, the soul, the nafs. It's about her. So there comes a spiritual bit. Now, before we have our next person, before we talk about the next scenario, I just want to be able to say to you, no, I'm not going to put that on yet. I've got some things here for you. If we get a chance, we'll be able to have a look at that. But I want to be able to say to you, we've been looking at spirituality and we've been looking at religion. So, you as practitioners, you who are not chaplains, you can still give spiritual care, but have you got time to sit like this? Of course you haven't got time. It's hard enough just getting even the drugs round to whoever you need to be able to get it round to. It's hard enough just being able to remember that you've still got so-and-so, or there's another new patient come in, or whatever. You haven't got time to do that. So actually, why are you here? Why are you learning about spiritual care? You're here because you can still implement spiritual care in your work, within your capacity of your job and the role that you're playing. So, for example, whether you're sticking a needle in somebody, or whether if you're changing or cleaning the patient, or whether you are giving them physiotherapy, or whether you are the tea lady and you're giving them a cup of tea, or whatever you might be doing, a kind word touches the spirit. A word, a body language of giving eye connection and empathy and care and a smile is all about spiritual care. A few words, a sentence, something like, oh, there we go. I do hope you'll get better very quickly. Or something like, there we go. All done. Let's see what happens now. Doesn't matter. Be yourself. Don't be fake. Be yourself. But when you will care for the human body, and you can also care for the human spirit, that's when you are giving spiritual care. Okay? So a lot of what you saw me doing at the beginning is what we call spiritual and pastoral care. All right? And that pastoral care is talking, chatting, hearing, listening, being with that person. Just being with them. Now, the chaplain can do that, and you know that. So if you've got a chaplain in your hospital, then you'll know to make a referral. Yeah? So what we do is we get anybody, any staff in the hospital that will just call the chaplaincy department and will say, oh, can you please come and see so-and-so? She would like to come and see you. The nurses will say to nurses or anybody meeting a patient will say, we do have chaplains here if you want somebody to come and visit you. Trouble is, most people don't know what a chaplain is even when you tell them that they've got chaplains. So we have to explain who they are. But that's for you to make a referral. So it is, spiritual care is everybody's role. Yeah? Within our capacity. But when you have no time to do more, that's when you can ask the, what do you call your ustad? You call ustad, yeah? Or religious officer, you can call them. But your role is about giving spiritual needs. Okay, let's move to the second scenario. Happy to move to the second scenario now? Yeah. Second case. When I was making my notes after the first one, I put down role play, and I thought this is semi-role play, actually, because it was actually very real, wasn't it? And that lady, the first patient, just broke down, and she wept, and she wept. And did you hear what I said to her? Anybody remember when she was weeping, what I said about crying? Exactly. You got it word to word. Yeah, cry all you like. Where else can people do this? if we want holistic care, we have to take care of the spirit. We have to be looking at the patient in a way where we are taking care of everything about that human being. And we will find there's a correlation between the spirit and physical health as well. We will find that lots of patients start to get so much better and respond physically better when their hearts and minds and souls are at ease. Okay, second scenario. Can you first tell me what you thought? Can you speak in your microphone?
Hello? It will be hard.
It'll be hard?
Yeah.
Why do you think it was hard?
Because we don't share a same belief.
Aha.
It's for me.
So when you were watching me, the Muslim, and you were watching, she's probably Hindu, she had the little dot, and I shouldn't make an assumption, it could have been a fashion thing, you know, but she wasn't my religion, I knew that, okay? I was told before she came, so the chaplain knew before she went to see her, right? So when you were watching that, what did you think? Did you think it was hard?
Because we are all human beings. We need something that all human need.
Yeah, okay. But you said to me you think it would be hard. Are you talking about personally hard? Yeah. Oh, well, that's something really to reflect on. Because, you know, once we start to do it, it's not as hard as it looks. It becomes natural. My brothers and my sisters in Islam, everything that I do, and I pray I will be like this until my dying day, I try to think about my deen, my Islam, and what Allah wants from me. When I was sitting there behaving like this with this person, do you know what? I felt like a better Muslim. Even if it is hard. And there are many things in life that I do find very hard. But I felt like a better Muslim. I felt I was doing what I needed to be doing. And sometimes we shy away from doing those things. But sometimes the best thing is to get out there and to try it. Because that's when, inshallah ta'ala, we get the experience of doing it. And it gets easier, inshallah. And if it doesn't get easy, it doesn't matter. You know your reward is with Allah. Anybody else? What did you feel? Did you feel it was a bit weird and strange that this Muslim chaplain is seeing somebody who's not a Muslim? Is it strange? Why is it not strange? Shout out. Sorry? You're connecting with them as a human to a human. Yeah. Because chaplaincy isn't only about religion. Chaplaincy isn't just about meeting religious needs. It's about spiritual needs as well. And some people will choose their religion to touch their spirituality. Others may not. We'll get there soon. Sounds a bit confusing, but that's because we've not really necessarily been that much exposed to it. All right, so that was my 20 minutes, and we have another wonderful, lovely patient that has offered herself to come over. All right, forgive me again, I've got to get dressed. She doesn't understand. Oh, Allah bless her. Allah bless her. Right, I'm going to explain this first because it's not fair on her. And when we get a moment, let's try and turn her chair to face me this time because our last patient wanted to talk to you all the time. So, yeah, that'd be really nice. That'd be beautiful if we just move that round. That's lovely. That's lovely. Can you tell Machi? Yeah. Can you tell her that she can understand you? Oh, I'm impressed. But do tell her that today everybody is learning how we, and I'm from England, work in my role as somebody who goes to visit patients. And everybody here is just going to watch, but she's just got to be herself and talk to me. Lovely. And you're positioned quite nicely there because you're kind of like behind her and you can talk to her. That's lovely. So I'm going to go and walk in just like I would normally do. Okay? Yeah. So here I go again. What do I do first? Dora. Hey, you're good students. Right. Here I go. I've done my dua, and I'm going to go in, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rehana, and I have come to see you, to visit you. I work in the hospital, and my work is to visit the patients and just give you a smile and maybe spend a few minutes with you. Is that okay?
Okay.
Can I sit down?
Yes.
Is that all right? Thank you. Thank you. I work in a department that's a religious department. And my work is to sit and be with you. And if you have any religious needs, then I will do my best to meet those needs. But we are not just here for religious needs. We're here to just simply give you comfort, just to sit with you, be with you. Sometimes it's not easy to speak about everything even. So when we come, we're here to give you some time. How are you today?
Baik.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Inshallah, Allah make you completely well.
Sehat.
Do the nurses and everybody look after you nicely here?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Okay, okay.
Sometimes they're not nice though. Sometimes people have too much work to do and they're very, very busy. And sometimes it feels like they don't always give us the best care.
Tapi okey lah. Sejak mak duduk sini okey.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. That's good. MashaAllah. The real truth is, everybody's here, that's why you can't say everything to me.
Mama orang tengok.
If I was sitting with you quietly, you could tell me everything.
Tak. Tak biasa saja. Tak takut.
Yes, yeah. Have you been in hospital for a long time, or have you just come? Yeah. Can you hear her? No. All right. Yeah. If you just pull it out of her hand.
29 bulan 2.
That's all right. That's okay. So, what did she say? Adlina, what did she say, please? Oh, that's quite a long time. Yeah. Oh. Are you looking forward to going home?
Hari Jumaat. Isnin masuk Jumaat balik.
Oh, that's good news. Are you looking forward to going home?
Yeah.
It makes me happy to see you happy. Yeah. Is there anything that you especially want to do when you get home?
Jalan-jalan lah kat rumah. Exercise.
Right, I'm just going to pull up this in her hand. There we go. That's better. Right, okay. Yeah. She just wants to walk?
Yes.
Ah. Oh.
Petang jalan-jalan.
That's very good for you. Very good. Yeah. Machi, I will pray for you, inshallah. Yeah. That Allah gives you all the strength you need. That you are able to do the things that you want to do. Yeah. I'll keep you in my heart.
InsyaAllah.
You have a most beautiful smile. Do you know that? So beautiful, mashallah. When I see you, I think everybody's heart becomes happy. I have to go now. But I'd like to make a little dua for you. Yeah. Is that okay? Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when he used to go to visit the patient, he used to make a dua for them. And I would like to make a dua for you. But I also want to ask something from you as well. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, when you visit the patient, ask them to pray for you. Will you make a dua for me and my children and my husband? Can I ask you to do this? Will you? Please. Because Allah is so close to the sick person, to the patient.
InsyaAllah.
Allah says that when you visit the patient, you will find me with them. And this makes it very special for me.
Yeah.
Will you make dua for me, please? Allah bless you. It means a lot to me.
Yes.
Thank you. And my dua for you, very short, but I will say it for you, inshallah. Bismillah. Allahumma adhib al-ba's, Rabb al-nas. اشفي وأنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاؤك شفاء لا يغادر سقما. Which means, oh Allah, remove this difficulty. You are the Lord of mankind. There is no cure except in your cure. So give healing which leaves no illness behind. Can I get your permission to leave now? Yes. If you want somebody else to come and visit you, I can ask the other chaplain to visit. Okay. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. An applaud for this lady. Fine, okay. Can somebody tell me how long I've got now before 12 o'clock? It's okay. Right. Oh, 10 minutes. Got 10 minutes. That's all we've got. Okay. Give myself 6. And let's see. If I could have your attention. How do you feel? What do you think? Chaplaincy important? Yeah. You've seen today 3 cases which actually weren't critical, but they are profound. Everybody's experience is their own experience. And we can never compare one with another. But the care we give is as important to one person or another. It's equally important. We give the same care and equality to everyone, inshallah. Here, she was an older lady. Did you watch me? It's different from the others. So you take it you play by ear, and you try to understand the context. So here I wanted to be more respectful. I wanted to be able to call her Makci. I wanted to be able, I should have told her I know Dudu and not Panas, I know Makan as well, but I didn't. It was really about building up a relationship and being with her and giving her time. And I put in a few more things for you to know about referrals as well. I was asking her, would she like somebody else to come and visit her? Any questions? Would you like to look at one or two of these slides? They're boring. Yes.
I have 3 actually.
Sorry?
3 questions.
3 questions? You're making up for everybody else. Okay.
All right. So this was regard to the second patient. And I'll touch on the third
lady
patient
who
as well.
wasn't a Muslim.
Yes.
Right.
So it was a different religion.
Yes.
And I can see that you did not say Allah, or you kind of
I
like
said
say
God.
God. Yeah, you
Yeah,
said God.
yeah.
So that was like so you knew that you were going to say God. And
Yes.
would you, with a different religion, would you say Allah? Would you say Insha'Allah during the session?
No, I wouldn't.
Right.
Because I don't want to make an assumption that they ought to know it. Yeah? Everything is about respecting the other. So even when I did mention God, I made clear to her that she knew that I was from a particular religion, so that she would know that I'm not imposing it on her. We don't proselytize. In all of those 3 cases, there was no proselytizing. There was no preaching. Do you do prayer 5 times a day, Makci? Nah. There's none of that. It wasn't about that. My role is not to go and tell people what they should be doing. My role is to meet their needs. If my role becomes such, and there are some chaplains that do this, although it's not permitted from where I come from, but they think they should go and tell people. If that becomes known to our patients, there are many patients that won't want to see any religious officer. People feel guilty. People feel bad. People sometimes know that there is no excuse for doing some of the things they do, but they make an excuse because they're not feeling very well, or they're sick, or they're ill, or whatever it might be. And we can burden them if we start pushing them. No. What I found is that you make things easy. To me, this is Islam. I don't think that I shouldn't encourage, but the encouragement is so incredibly subtle. So subtle that when you carry on talking, or you visit the second time, or whenever it might be, the chaplain, of course, I wouldn't expect other staff to be doing this. We're talking about the chaplain here. It would just be in a way whereby they then start to think, oh, I like this Muslim. They start to like this chaplain. They start to think that, actually, she's not being judgmental. She's not trying to tell me what I shouldn't be doing. That way encourages people to be able to talk. This way, I find people say to me, I wish I was doing more prayers, but I don't always pray. I pray sometimes, but I don't always. You know what? A lot of people don't get a chance to tell anybody that. There are a lot of people that don't pray, but they pretend they do, or they let you think they do because they don't feel comfortable with you. Okay. Anything else?
Two questions.
Sorry?
Here.
You had three.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I realized in the second and third patient, you were really close.
Second and third.
Second and third.
Yes.
You were really close. Like I could
Yes.
see from the Pushpawati. So she was really sitting really back. You know. And you were
Well,
really
there
close.
was one difficulty there. We didn't
Yeah.
position the chair well enough.
Right. Okay.
So she kept on sort of like talking to you guys instead. So that one didn't work so well because of that, in that respect, just in that respect. And so I had to actually work at interrupting her to get her to talk to me. So that didn't work in that way. Normally, with non-Muslims, I don't find that body language. It's not usually like that. And just feeling feeling and knowing Pushpati, it didn't feel to me, actually, that she didn't want to talk, or didn't want to. I think it was just that she was facing you guys, and it's not hard for these people, mashallah. They're supposed to be talking to me, but they've got all of you looking at them. So, I think that's what was happening there.
And the third question, so you said, inshallah, Allah will make you completely well, right? I was wondering, between between hope and false hope.
Yeah.
So can you explain?
Right, okay. So, inshallah, bismillah, inshallah means God willing. I started off with that in the first place. We know as Muslims, because she's a Muslim, and especially because she was an elder Muslim as well, mashallah. We know that everything lies in Allah's hands. I have seen miracles happen. When all the doctors and the consultants have said, nah, it's not going to live. I have seen a patient come out of a coma, and I was told that if she comes out, if she survives this, she's going to be like a cabbage. She's not going to be able to talk, eat, drink, do anything. Subhanallah, she's now catching buses and doing all sorts. There are so many things. Science, research will only show us so much and tell us so much. But everything we know as Muslims is in the hands of Allah. So I started off by inshallah. So when I said inshallah, I pray you will be completely healed or recovered or whatever I said. That's my prayer. Yeah? I am not a doctor saying to them, oh, you're going to live. I'm not doing that. I'm not using anything to say that this is what's going to happen. It's just giving the hope that the Prophet ﷺ taught us to give to people. Because actually, life and death is in his hands. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Fantastic questions. Thank you very much. Shall we stop there? Have you all, is that enough? Or, oh, you've got to quick.
Very essential, and it's, for me, it's wajib to say that. Yeah, because وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ فَهُوَ يَشْفِينِ. It's Allah who heals, not us. But as we said, if every time after we completed whatever procedure, whatever injection, or whatever you do it, the implication, what it means to the patient when they know, inshallah, we pray to Allah that everything will be done. Yeah. And we are just the tool for the
Absolutely.
This is a very important and a very powerful, and I think for us, not chaplains, but as physicians, nurses, or whatever.
Absolutely.
I think this needs to be part and parcel of the SOP, quote and unquote. As
Inshallah.
Wallahu alam.
Inshallah.
Yeah, sorry.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I have to stand up and look at the audience. You have seen Rihanna speaking. She's not acting. That's how she is. The only difference between my dear sister, a British, a Pakistani lady brought up in England, dengan kita budaya Melayu, unfortunately, kita tidak expressive. We do not empathize as easily as you do. And we have so much reserve in us, kita tak express our feelings. That's why sometimes bila kita bercakap dengan patient, kadang tu kita very teragak-agak dan tidak keluar. Jadi bagi saya, sorry, I have to...
No, bismillah.
When you speak from your heart, then it will reach your heart. Similarly, when you sing from your heart, it will reach people's heart as well. Jadi, I think we have a lot to learn from Puan Rihanna. Saya kenal dia lama, puluhan tahun, in the 80s masa kat UK, and two of my children were born in England, in Birmingham. But of course she wasn't a chaplain then.
That's right.
Masih muda lagi masa tu. But Allah has made it possible for us to meet again after 20 years, 30 years. And apa yang saya lihat, pengalaman semasa berada di England, memang our nurses, saya sendiri bila, when I had my children, the way the nurses treated you, it's just like they were Muslims to you. They were so compassionate, tak ada reservation. So this is something I think kita dalam hospital kita, I mean saya pun dengar YB menerima berbagai-bagai komplain atau pandangan. Kan banyaklah. Kita faham kadang-kadang the work burden of the nurses, the doctors, they don't have time to even say something nicely face to face. We don't have that luxury of time, Rihanna. So, but we can learn. Kita boleh improve sebagai manusia. And tambah-tambah we are Muslims. And remember, all of you here, Masya Allah, you are doing a great job. Tapi part of healing, bukan saja ubat, bukan saja injection, but it's also the words, good soothing words, your dua. You're saying, inshallah, you're talking to them, look into their eyes and just, you don't have to talk much, you don't need to give lectures. Senyum, touch, sentuhan biasa yang meninggalkan kesan luar biasa. So, hopefully inshallah with this conference, I was telling Dr. Ishak juga, saya akan bersama-sama dengan Kasih, dengan NGO Isteri-Isteri Menteri yang baru yang mengganti Bakti. We have now Kasih, bukan lagi Bakti. Dan saya terlibat dengan Biro Kesihatan, and we're going to bring this up, insyaAllah. Kita akan bawa idea ini, especially having spiritual people around you, walaupun mungkin hospital belum mampu menerima, tapi kita akan bawa dan mengajak sukarelawan-sukarelawan, insyaAllah include saya in one of the sukarelawan, untuk membawa the holistic approach of healing. Sebab healing ni berbagai-bagai cara. It's not just the modern medicine. There are many other medicine, but Islam has provided us as advantage as healing. So thank you so much, Rehana. I love you. And I know I'm going to get you after this. You're not leaving home without coming and see me. Thank you. Terima kasih, Doktor. Assalamualaikum.
Oh, mashallah. I'm around for the day, but I do understand that I might not see you now till whenever. But I just want to be able to say what a pleasure and an honor it has been to have been in your company, to have been able to share things of my experience with all of you. My dua is, may Allah only bless us all with a goodness for what we have come for. May Allah bless us all in terms of taking back the good that He wishes for us to be able to have to benefit others. Ameen. Allah bless you, be with you. You've all got what it takes. You're wonderful people. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.